Part 1.
You will hear a conversation between a sales advisor and a customer looking to plan a journey to London. You have 30 seconds to look at questions 1 to 10.
Good morning. Southwest Railway Transport Information. How may I help you?
Hi, good morning. I'm hoping you can help me to organize my travel plans. I'm taking the 6:17 from Basingstoke to London next Wednesday, and then I need to get to Streatham. Could you tell me how to get there?
Streatham, was it? Just let me have a look. Streatham is about 5 miles from London Waterloo, which is where the train from Basingstoke will terminate. Which station was it in Streatham? Streatham, Streatham Hill, or Streatham Common?
Streatham Common.
Okay. Now, if you give me a second, I can try to find the best route in our system. Here we go. Even though it's only 5 miles away from Waterloo, apparently it will take you around 70 minutes to get there.
Wow, really? Why is that?
It's crazy, I know, but the thing is, you'd have to take the underground to Victoria Station before you could take a train to Streatham Common Station. I suppose you could always take a cab if you're in a hurry.
Right. Well, I don't really want to spend the money. I thought it'd be cheaper if I booked the whole journey with you instead of paying for things separately, you know? I've done this before and it saved me a lot of money.
Yes, it often can. Just let me have another look at our system to see if there's an alternative route. You said you're leaving from Basingstoke, correct?
Actually, I'm in Chingham, but yes, the closest railway station with a service to London is Basingstoke. I thought I'd take the 6:17 because it's direct, and I'd get to London just before rush hour.
Okay, let's see what the route planner has to say. So, departing from Basingstoke, which day are you traveling?
Wednesday, the 22nd of March.
Oh, so it's a weekday then. And what time do you need to be in Streatham? I'm only asking because it would be much cheaper to use an off-peak service.
Right. Let me think. As long as I get there by lunchtime, I should be fine. I'm meeting some friends for lunch at 1, so if I got there at around 12, perhaps 12:30, that would be fine.
Okay, just bear with me for 1 second.
No problem.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions.
So, how about this? You could take the 10:43 from Basingstoke to Clapham Junction.
Clapham Junction?
That's right. You don't have to go all the way to London Waterloo and then Victoria. You can change trains in Clapham Junction and go directly to Streatham Common from there, as it's closer to Streatham than Waterloo.
That's good news indeed. And that should save me loads of time, right?
I believe so. As I was saying, you could take the 10:43 from Basingstoke and get off at Clapham Junction.
Right.
You'd be getting to Clapham Junction at about 11:25. There you'd have to change platforms to take the 11:35 to Streatham Common. You'd arrive in Streatham Common at 11:45 as it's only 10 minutes away.
That's brilliant. So it'll take me just over an hour for the entire journey?
Yes, and if you take the 10:43, it's also much cheaper than going earlier in the morning.
Great. So how much is it going to be then?
Are you looking to buy a single or a return ticket?
Return, please.
Day or open return?
What's the difference?
If you choose a day return, you'll have to return on the same day. If you choose an open return, you can return any day as long as you make the journey within 60 days from purchase.
I guess I'll go for an open return then. I'm not really sure whether I'll be going back on Saturday or Sunday.
Perfect. So it's the 10:43 from Basingstoke to Streatham Common, and you're changing trains at Clapham Junction. Sorry, the system is a bit slow today.
Don't worry.
Got it. Are you traveling first or second class?
Second, please.
That will cost you £31 then.
Wow, that's far cheaper than what I was about to pay just to get to Waterloo. Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Would you like to book your ticket now?
Yes, please. Can I use a credit card?
Yes, of course. But you'll have to take this card with you to collect the tickets from the station.
That's not a problem.
So if I could take your full name and the long number on the front of your card.
No problem. I'm Matthew Shepard, and the number is 3320-1010-4665-1224.
Thanks. And the expiry date?
10/20/20.
Thank you. And the last 3 digits on the back of your card.
442.
Thank you. I'm now processing your transaction. I won't be a minute. Fantastic. That's all done for you, sir. Make sure you take this card with you when you collect your tickets at the station.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your help.
I'm just doing my job. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I think that's it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you for choosing Southwest Railway and have a good day.
And you. Bye.
That is the end of part 1.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 2.
Part 2.
You will hear a talk given by a tour guide about the Jurassic Coast in Dorset. You have 30 seconds to look at questions.
Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Paul Martins and I'll be your guide for this virtual tour of the Jurassic Coast. So, without any further ado, let's get started with our tour of this magnificent site, which was designated as England's first natural World Heritage Site in 2001. I'll start by giving you some general background information. As you can see from the 3D map on your right, the Jurassic Coast is about 96 miles long, stretching all the way from Exmouth in East Devon to Studland Bay in Dorset. Apart from the breathtaking views, its cliffs are formed by many layers of sedimentary rock, which reveal the history of Earth going back approximately 185 million years. These layers cover the Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous periods. The images you're about to see are all based on data collected from the continuous sequence of rock formation. At different times, this area has been a desert, and if you look at the slide, you can see an image of the arid plains, or what we believe they would have looked like. It has also been a tropical sea, and here are some of the species that would have inhabited these waters. Later, it became a sprawling ancient forest. This is an image of the species of birds which would have lived here then. And then also, believe it or not, a lush swamp populated by these various reptiles and amphibians. It still blows my mind that the area I call home was once inhabited by tropical fish, crocodiles and snakes. There's just so much these rocks can tell us. Now to the sights. On the screen to your left, you can see a satellite image of the Jurassic Coast. It is home to some of the most beautiful landscapes in the whole of the UK, if not the world. Firstly, it is impossible to talk about the Jurassic Coast and not mention the incredible Durdle Door. Durdle Door is a world-famous geological wonder. It's an impressive natural limestone arch located between Swanage and Weymouth in Dorset. It has a sloping beach which is perfect for snorkelling and also features dozens of caves to be explored and exciting rock strata to be marvelled at. And it's only a short walk away from one of my favourite places in the world, Lulworth Cove. The cove is the prime tourist attraction in Dorset. Both the cove and the arch are believed to have been created after the collision of two formerly separate continents, similar to the formation of the Alps. This brings me on to the next part of the tour.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions.
Around 25 million years ago, the European tectonic plate collided with the African plate. This huge impact actually folded rocks and created the mountain range we know today as the Alps. Ripples from that collision heavily impacted the rock layers, and as the sea broke through the hard limestone and washed away the softer rocks, Durdle Door and Lulworth Cove were born. Normally, layers of limestone are horizontal, but Durdle Door is formed from a layer of limestone standing vertically out of the sea. There's only one force strong enough to have arranged these rocks in this way, the force of tectonic plates. Another impressive feature of the Jurassic Coast, as you should now be able to see on the screen right behind you, so if you could just... Yes, thank you. As I was saying, a very distinct feature of the Jurassic Coast is the number of preserved fossils that can be found there. It is possible to recreate vivid landscapes from the Mesozoic era. All the images you can see now were created using the fossils found in the area. Let's take a closer look at some. This is an early Triassic desert, and now you can see the first dinosaurs and mammals. Here, the tropical Jurassic seas that dominated the area about 180 million years ago. If you look here, you can see that there's a vast increase in the number of dinosaurs compared with the Triassic period, and even some birds. This last reconstruction shows the landscape evolving into a crustaceous swamp. Look at these flowering plants. Astounding, isn't it? I've worked here for almost a decade now, and it still amazes me. Well, that's the end of the first section of your tour. I'm leaving you now in the very capable hands of my colleague, Professor Rhodes. He'll be talking you through the methods involved in fossil hunting on the Jurassic Coast. Those of you who won't be joining us on our field trip to Lulworth tomorrow can follow me to the shop instead, if you prefer. If we exit through the doors at the back and then turn...
That is the end of part 2.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 3. Part 3.
Here an applicant be interviewed for a place on a master's degree course. You have 30 seconds to look at questions.
Hello, James Southgate, isn't it?
That's right. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Matthew Forsyth. Please sit down.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, thank you for your interest. We were all really impressed with your results in the admissions tests.
Thanks.
Shall I call you James?
Please.
So, James, as we explained in your letter, those who achieved satisfactory results in the admissions exam would be invited to an interview, and this is why you are here today.
Yes.
This is the first part of the interview, and I believe everything was explained in the letter.
Absolutely. If I'm correct, we will be discussing my application form and experience in this stage of the interview.
Absolutely. And in approximately 45 minutes, we'll go on to the group dynamics.
Absolutely. If I'm correct, we will be discussing my application form and experience in this stage of the interview.
Absolutely. And in approximately 45 minutes, we'll go on to the group dynamics.
Perfect.
So, your first degree was in communications?
Yes, but I also took extra modules in media studies for my final year.
And you graduated in 2005, is that right?
Yes.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions.
And I have been a teacher since then. I worked as an assistant teacher in New Zealand, and I was there for about 30 months, or 2.5 years, from 2006 to 2009.
Well, that's interesting. Why New Zealand?
I'd always wanted to go there. My uncle moved there when I was 7. He and my cousins would always come and spend most summers with us here in the UK, but I never really had a chance to go and visit them. My aunt is a teacher, and once I got my degree, she managed to get me a job there.
And that was at Wellington University, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
It's a big university. I've been there myself a couple of times. And what did you teach?
Oh, a variety of things. I used to cover for some of the permanent teachers, so I had the opportunity to teach English as an additional language, writing for scripts, and what else? The history of radio and television.
Right. Quite a variety then.
Yes, and I also ran some video editing workshops.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
It was great. Obviously, if I'm honest with you, there were times I didn't really know what I had to do or if what I was doing was right.
Why's that?
For instance, once I was told to step in right in the middle of an EAL lesson because the teacher was feeling sick.
Pardon my ignorance, but what's EAL?
Oh, excuse me. English as an additional language.
Right.
So I was asked to step in right in the middle of the lesson, and I had no idea what was going on. But because I had some experience teaching English in Argentina during my gap year, they thought I'd be able to just stride right in and pick up where their teacher left off with their lesson.
Uh-oh.
Yes, but the problem was that they were all medical students, and they'd been practicing very specific vocabulary, most of which I had never even seen before.
I see.
But in the end, I did manage to explain the situation to the students. They were quite good about it, and we ended up having an interesting conversation about the differences in public health in the UK and New Zealand.
It sounds like you handled it well after all.
Thanks.
And why is it that you want to do an MSc in history?
Well, I've come to realize that teaching is what I want to do for a living. Although I did enjoy my time teaching English and media studies, history has always been my favorite subject. And when I had the opportunity to teach the history of radio and television, for example, I remembered how magical it was for me to explore the past in order to better understand where we are today and how we got here. I used to love history at school.
Well, I have to say I am impressed with both your work experience and your passion. So, now I'll ask you to quickly take me through your studies from...
That is the end of part 3.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 4.
Part 4.
You will hear an introduction to a creative writing course. You have 30 seconds to look at questions 31 to 40.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the first week of our creative writing course for beginners. This course looks like the busiest one yet. Believe me, it's so nice to see so many of you here. My name is Thomas Rugeley, and I'll be your teacher/instructor for this course. Teacher, because I will be teaching you some of the most common writing strategies used by modern novelists and writers, and instructor, because I will also be coaching you on how to put these strategies into practice. As you can see from the first page of your programs, today is really just an introductory session. I'm going to be talking you through the course itself so we can make sure you know exactly what's going to happen during the 2 hours you'll be spending with us each Thursday for the next 12 weeks. First, let's cover the basics. This is a creative writing course in the 21st century, and as such, I don't expect any novelists to be handwriting their 300-page books. Instead, the vast majority of our work will be done digitally. You're more than welcome to bring your own laptops to class if you'd rather, though we do also supply our own equipment here. Having said that, tablets and phones are not considered appropriate for this course. So if you want to use your own machines, they have to be appropriate, portable computers with a relatively up-to-date word processor installed on them. If any of you are not that comfortable with your typing skills and feel that you might get left behind, just log on to our learning platform using your student details. You should have all received these by email, but anyway, they should be in one of the forms on the welcome pack I'm about to give you. Just log into our platform and download the typing trainer. You'll see that your typing skills will drastically improve in just a couple of hours. Also, if you're using your own equipment, it's a good idea to arrive half an hour earlier next week so that you can copy over all the files we'll be using in the course. This is a 12-week course, with the first week being a simple introduction and get-together, and a formal exam in the last week. That then leaves us with 10 different modules to be covered during the term, over the remaining weeks. The first module is all about character development. Next week, we'll be discussing and experimenting with various character development techniques. This is, in my opinion, the heart and soul of creative writing. A writer can have a very sketchy plot and yet manage to produce a great book if their characters are strong enough. Not that I'm trying to belittle the benefits of a well-thought-out plot. On the contrary, and that's why they're the topic in the following week for Module 2. I simply believe that you cannot have a good story without solid, plausible characters. Anyway, as I've just told you what our topic is for Module 2, let's move swiftly on to Module 3, which is all about points of view. You need to understand that the speaker, or the person you decide to tell the story through, has a crucial effect on the reader's experience. During this module, you'll be practicing different techniques, such as writing in the first or third person, and writing from one character's point of view or those of several different characters within your books. Description Strategies is the title for Module 4, and here we'll be exploring how to depict the world of your story and the people who live in it. The following week, you'll revisit the characters you created in Module 2. It is essential to keep revisiting, revising, and adding depth to the relationships between your characters if you want to create realistic and interesting stories. So that's what we'll be doing in Module 5, which is week 6. After that, we'll break for 2 weeks for half-term. That should give you plenty of time to get the basics of your story together, main characters, plot, and locations, before we can move on to Module 6. After half-term, we'll be discussing and experimenting with some basic principles of writing engaging dialogues. So this is where your workload will be more than doubled. Make sure friends, family, the dog, and the cat know that you'll have no life as of week 8 of the course. Voice is the topic for Module 7. It's directly connected to Module 3, as we'll be exploring how to give the narrator or narrators of your story lively, compelling voices to engage and arouse the reader's curiosity and keep them reading. During Module 8, Setting, you'll have the chance to go through what I like to call the creator's checklist. It will help you master the art of devising a dynamic world full of interaction, struggles, and conflict. Then we will move on to Beginnings. For me, the one aspect which is more important than a good ending is a good beginning. It's your business card, the photo in your passport, the suit you wear to a job interview, and no one will continue to read a book if the beginning is not engaging. It's the rod, the line, the bait, and the hook for the fish. So in Module 9, we'll be exploring what should be revealed, hinted at, or withheld in the first chapter of a novel. Santosh Kalwar once said, "Every beginning has an end, and every end has a new beginning." In Module 10, we'll be exploring how to design endings that give readers a sense of closure without closing the doors on the possibility of a sequel. And finally, drumroll please, your extended assignment in Week 12. You'll be asked to write an extended piece of fiction based on specific circumstances which will be provided to you on the day of the exam. Those of you who look horrified now can relax. This extended assignment is worth just 50% of the course marks, with the other 50 based on your performance throughout the course. We do believe in continuous assessment, so don't worry if you don't feel like you're...
That is the end of Part 4.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.